Peace everyone, Unmask here, and welcome to day 25 of Inktober. Yesterday's official prompt was dizzy, and today's prompt is tasty. So let me quickly share the work that you guys did, that you submitted for yesterday's prompt, before I get into my own drawing. And today I am drawing Noelani. So that's the family member that I will be drawing today. Chibi-izing, as we've been calling it. She's pretty much been in all the live streams, so I think she's deserved a spot in the family portrait. So yeah, that's who I'll be sketching today. Oh, the artwork is already done showing. And then also what I wanted to mention was that I mentioned this yesterday, but I made an official Unmask family logo design for hoodies, sweatshirts, and shirts, and all kinds of stuff, phone cases and book bags and things like that. So if you want to pick up an Unmask family hoodie or something, I have a link for that in the description also. So be sure to do that. And thank you for those of you that had already purchased a shirt and a hoodie and all of that. So thank you. I do appreciate that. Oh, hey there, Lindy. I'm just going to go ahead and get started here, drawing, finishing up this sketch here of Noelani. And if you guys have any questions for me, don't hesitate to ask. Today is Friday, by the way, so I hope everyone had a good week. It's been a fun, exciting week. Getting the sponsorship from Jackson's Art Supply. The pastels are in the mail, so I should be getting the first official starter pack for the Peaceful Pastels in just a couple days. Maybe tomorrow, possibly tomorrow. But more likely Monday, I think. So next Monday I'll probably have the starter pack of pastels with the pan pastel blending knife or sponge knife or whatever you want to call it. But I'm super excited about that, and I hope you guys are too. I look forward to doing the first episode, or the pilot episode of Peaceful Pastels. I've been thinking about this idea for a long time now, and to kind of have it getting nearer and nearer to actually doing it is super fun to think about. Oh, hi there, Tessa and Diane. Sergio, good to see you as well. Oh, you're welcome, Lindy. Yeah, I had a nice spot over there just for you. I hope that I enjoy coffee, because this is how the stream tastes like for me. I do not like coffee, actually. I am a tea drinker. I only drink tea. Well, actually, I do also drink, I guess it's a coffee alternative. It kind of, I suppose it does kind of have a coffee taste. So maybe I do like coffee, but I can't drink coffee because my digestive system does not agree with me drinking coffee. The caffeine is just too much for me. But I drink, gosh, I can't even think of the name of it. Inca. Yeah, I drink Inca, which is it has a roasted flavor, just like coffee, but it's made from like barley and wheat, and it's just roasted grains actually. Which, I mean, technically, that's coffee is kind of a grain. A little bit comes from beans, but yeah, it has a very, very similar taste. I tried to drink coffee when I was in the military, and it didn't go well. Because, when I was in the military, I had to stand watch. I had to like wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and then stand watch for like 4 hours, and then have to go to work for the regular 8-hour day. So that was coffee was pretty much everybody's best friend in the military, but it didn't agree with me, so I had to just deal with it, because I didn't drink tea when I was in the military either. I just drank water. And if you ever had water on an aircraft carrier, it's not the tastiest water in the world. It tastes rather metallic. Oh, you missed a few live streams. Yeah, I can talk about the sponsorship deal. So essentially, I a few of you and myself contacted Jackson's Art Supply to try to convince them to sponsor the series, the Peaceful Pastel series that I'll be starting next month. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the episode 1 done next month. That's the plan. No guarantees, but that is the plan. And was it Monday or maybe it was Tuesday? The days of the week, they just one turns into the next, and there's no clear separation for me. But it was Monday or Tuesday that the marketing manager emailed me and said that they were interested in the collaboration, and I just gave her a few more details on it, on the specifics of what my intentions were and what I wanted, and they didn't agree yet to sponsor the whole season, which is fine. I understand from their position that agreeing to do the whole season, 10 episodes, would that's a lot to ask for. So they agreed to do the first episode and then kind of go from there. So the first episode is sponsored so far, and it was just really exciting news. And they're giving me 2 of the starter packs, and I'm still working with them right now, because I have a link in the description for my Jackson's affiliate link. So if you want to buy some art supplies from Jackson's Art Supply, you can do it through my link, and I'll just get a little bit of commission. It doesn't cost you any extra money. It's exactly like the Amazon affiliate program, but specifically for Jackson's, and so that will help me out if you're in the market for some art supplies. Jackson's has a great selection. I've been buying from there pretty much since I've lived in Poland, and yeah, so that's one thing that I've gotten, and they're going to send me, like I said, 2 of the starter packs, and I get to give one of them away. That's the point. I initially wanted to get a starter pack for each episode. That's going to be the plan. I want to be able to give a starter pack away each episode of the season, and they just said, well, we'll see how the first episode goes or whatnot, and then we'll go from there. And so, being able to give away some free art supplies is very exciting also, because I love giving stuff away. The best part is I don't have to ship anything. I just contact Jackson's and say, hey, this is the person that gets the art supplies. Can you send it to them? And they'll just send it to them. So that's really exciting, that I don't have to deal with any of the shipping or anything like that. And the starter pack is a specific set of their fantastic handmade pastels that so it's a 14 set that I picked. I picked the colors for season 1, and right now I'm working with them to get that specific set as a sellable product, along with the pastel mat and the pan pastel sponge knife. So I'm hoping I can get them to list that as a single product on their website, so that I can have a link to the starter pack. And so for those of you that want to follow along with the Peaceful Pastel series, you can simply just add that one thing to your cart rather than going through and finding each individual product. So that's kind of what I'm working with them right now on, and hopefully I hear back soon as far as whether or not they're willing and able to do that for me. But yeah, that's kind of the where we're at with the sponsorship, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are too. The Peaceful Pastel season 1 is going to be kind of just a really basic introduction to pastels, kind of getting people excited to try pastels and just a bit more be a bit more comfortable with them. And I'll be going over just some basic landscape stuff and skies, mostly skies. Oh, hey there, Chrissy. And Diane. Oh, wait, I already said Diane. Oh, was it Tuesday? Oh, hello, Andrea and Myra. Why is it called Peaceful Pastel? Well, I think it sounds good. I mean, do you have a different idea, Myra, as far as the name? My introduction has always been on my channel to say peace, and when I say bye, I always say peace. That's just that's what I say when I say bye to somebody. I say peace. I don't say bye. And gosh, I don't even. I've that's the way that I've greeted and ungreeted. What do you salutation? When I say bye to people, I say peace, and so it just seems right to call it that from my perspective, and also like I feel like I have a very calm demeanor, and a lot of people always comment on how soothing my voice is, and yeah, so that was I was trying to come up with a name for the pastel series, and I'm kind of piggybacking on the idea that of Bob Ross's oil painting series, you know, The Joy of Painting, and Peaceful Pastels just seemed like it was right. Like it just seemed like the right name for me to use, because that's what I want. That's what I want each episode to bring. You know, I want it to be knowledgeable. I want it to be entertaining. I want it to be helpful to and inspiring for people that want to get into pastels. But you know, a lot of people watch Bob Ross's videos that don't have any interest in actually picking up a paintbrush. They'll just watch it because it's enjoyable to see his presentation and to see his work come to life. And who doesn't love the way his mountains just pop off the canvas with a simple stroke of the palette knife? And so I'm just hoping to kind of create that same kind of experience, but with pastels instead. And that's kind of my plan. And so hopefully I can execute that plan pretty well. I mean, regardless if I get the audience, you know, get the audience for the season to like be sponsored for the entirety of the season, you know, if that doesn't happen, I'm okay with that, because I'm sure that you guys are going to enjoy the series regardless of whether or not I'm able to get the entire thing sponsored. You know, my plan, like I said, was if I could get the whole season sponsored, that would mean that 10 people would get a free set of pastels and the Pan Pastel blending knife. And, you know, I would love to be able to give that away every episode. Ideally, that's what I'm aiming for. And so I'm going to put a lot of time and effort into making sure that when I create these episodes, I want them to be peaceful and enjoying for everyone, not just the people that already like my artwork, you know. I really wish I had a studio space. Like, if anything comes out of this, hopefully my wife and I can find a better place to live so that I have more space, because I would really like to have the setup that I kind of dream of having, so that I can produce content that not only delivers, you know, everything that I already deliver, but also looks really nice. I want it to look nice and feel nice when I'm working. And yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to make that reality soon. And do you guys have any other question about the series or anything? Or suggestions? I'd love some suggestions on what you guys would, you know, what you guys think would be, you know, a good idea, or anything really. I'm totally open for suggestions. You know, I've just been kind of developing this idea as I go, and I've been trying to I've been trying to think of ways to shoot it. Been thinking of ways to like make it more enjoyable and just you know, accessible to a wider audience. So I mean, if you guys have any ideas or comments or concerns or suggestions or whatnot, I would absolutely love to hear them. Do I have a list of materials for beginners? Yes. The starter set is going. I haven't worked on the actual promotion of this yet. Right now, we've just kind of been talking about it in the live streams. I want to wait until I get the actual starter pack so that I can take pictures and video of it and stuff and kind of create a little promo video before I, go into detail of what the supplies are. But the thing about the supplies is that, like I said earlier, right now the set of colors that I chose for the starter pack is not listed as a product on Jackson's. So the only way to get the exact colors is if I give you the list of colors. You go to Jackson's, and there is an option where you can select. You can buy a 14 pack of the handmade pastels, which is what I'll be using, and you can select the 14 individual colors. So right now the only way to get the starter pack is for me to have that list, and then you input that list manually, which, I mean, it only takes like 5 or 10 minutes to do that, because you have to like scroll through and then click on the color, scroll down, click on the color, and all of that. But there's 200 colors. It's a lot of searching for the color by name. So I'm hoping if I can get them to list it as, an official selection, so that you can just click on it and that's the set of colors. You don't have to like scroll through the list of 200 colors and try to find the ones that I'll be using. I'm hoping that I can get that done also before I get into the promotional side of things. Yeah. The supplies are very, very basic. Just a gummed pad of pastel matte, those 14 colors, and then the pan pastel blending knife, and that's it for the supplies. There's nothing else that will be in the that I will use in the entirety of the season. My long-term plan is obviously to have multiple seasons, dependent on the success of the first. Obviously, I'm not going to keep doing something that nobody's interested in watching. I don't really see that happening, but I have to be realistic here. But as the seasons progress, the skill level of the projects will increase, probably just to a maximum set in season 2. So season 1 will be like you've never touched a pastel in your life and just getting comfortable with using them. Season 2 will probably be just full landscapes for each episode. And for each season, what I intend to do is add another set of 14 pastels. So season 1 will just have that original 14, and everything I do in season 1 will just use those 14 colors. And then season 2 will be using the same supplies, but I'll add another 14 color set to that season. And that way we can do a little bit more complicated pieces, have a little bit more color range in our work, and at no point do you have to like spend a lot of money to follow along. So it keeps it simple, and you can just kind of build up your collection of pastels with each season, and that's my that's my thought. That's my plan, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Indeed, I am, Chrissy. Home stretch of Inktober. Yeah, I'm really getting through all these chibis. Day 25. So how many more chibis am I going to draw? Well, let's see here. I can fit one, two, like three. So, like after today, like five more. Yeah, and that's perfect. Just one a day for the next 5 days. I was thinking about maybe squeezing someone over here beside Ash. I could possibly do that. So there might be a day where I add two people, just depending on how I feel. Because I could easily add two people right here. Oh, you can't even see. So right up here at the top, I'll put. This is where Noelani is going right in here, just kind of sneaking in between Priya and Martha, right over Shiny's head. They wonder if Oma. Who's Oma? Diane, I think I saw your picture on the list of yeah, on the list of pictures, right? You do have a picture there, right, Diane? I'm almost certain. I think if that is the case, I think I almost drew you today. But I saw Noelani first, and I was just like, I recognize Noelani in the live stream. She's here almost every day, so I just thought, yeah, I see her often enough, because that's what I try to do, or what I've tried to do in general is just add people that I've recognized in the live stream. And of course, the friends that I've made, the friends that I've made over the past couple years, they kind of got priority to be drawn first because, they're the oldest members of the family. So it's a small bit of preferential treatment for those lovely family members. All right, I think this is good. I'm gonna add a little bit of hair back here. Yeah, I think this is good for Noelani. Okay, Diane. Well, I will remember that, and I will draw you tomorrow. So I'll add you to the family portrait tomorrow. I think that's a good idea. Like I said, I almost added you today, but I saw Noelani's picture before I saw yours, and sometimes I just go with the first one I see, because I just scroll through, and just the first one that I see that I haven't already drawn is usually the one that I tend to go with. At this point, anyway, because it's just, I know that I'm not going to be able to get, I'm not going to be able to add everybody. I'm with only like 5 spaces left, and I don't, I love that I chose to do this year and just get to draw so many of you lovely people. But I knew that there was going to be a point near the end of Inktober where I was like, man, I'm running out of space on my paper, and I'm running out of time, and I I know that I didn't draw everyone, and I feel bad that I wasn't able to draw everyone. I mean, I have I have a lot of subscribers. Not all of them are in the Unmasked family. Not all of them are as active in the live streams as you guys are. But even those that are, you know, most active in the live streams, I don't even know if I am able to get to all of those people. So I knew it was kind of going to be a little bit of a double-edged sword, and I definitely had no intention to leave anybody out, or make anybody feel left out in any way whatsoever. So I hope that I don't disappoint too many people. If I happen to miss you, or just run out of time or space, yeah, I definitely didn't want anybody to take it personally, because I'm really not playing favorites here. I'm just kind of, I mean, when I don't even really plan a day in advance on who I'm going to draw. About 15 to 20 minutes before the live stream is when I quickly scroll through the list, and just pick the person as randomly as I can, after, you know, shifting through all the people that I have already drawn. And I noticed that a couple people have just posted a picture in the family group, but that's not how I pick people. So I would, if you're trying to get in last minute, posting your picture, it won't help. You have to put it on the thread, because that's immediately where I go to find the next person. Unless, yeah, that's exactly where I go. So I think there was like 2 or 3 people, I think, that just posted a picture of themselves in the group, but I don't see those pictures, because that's not where I look to find the picture. So if make sure you know, if you're trying to get in last minute, of course I can't promise that I will get to your picture, but you have to post it on the thread. I'm not sure if anyone asked this. Is it okay to use your drawing of your own chibi as a profile picture, or in other ways? Is it okay to... Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, I've uploaded several work in progress photos throughout the month, and if you want to, you know, take that photo and zoom in, and just print that little section out or whatever and color it, and then use it as your profile picture, yeah, go ahead. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, even though this is my artwork, it's all based off of your guys' photographs. So you own it just as much as I do, in my opinion. So, you know, feel free to use the artwork any way that you want. I'm honored that you would even consider using your chibi as a profile picture. So, yeah. All right. Am I in camera enough? There we go. That looks like a good placement for Noelani. I have a hard enough time pronouncing Noelani when I can actually read the name, when I can see her name written. And adding her to the family portrait and trying to remember her name is probably going to be the hardest of all the names. Because I struggle so much just pronouncing it. So it's become quite a bit of a challenge. And yesterday, I don't know how many of you were here yesterday for the end of yesterday's live stream, but I was telling everyone that on my wife and I's date night on Thursday evening, or no, Wednesday evening, I'm sorry, I was talking to her about the stream, and I was saying that there's 40 names that I have memorized. And when we were at the restaurant, I just named everybody. I named all 40 people. And to prove that I was able to do that, to prove to everyone that I was able to do it, I flipped over the drawing here, the family portrait, and I named all 41 plus Gabriella that I drew yesterday from memory. Without looking at the picture, I can name everyone. So that's how good I've gotten with your guys' names, is that I can just do it from memory without even seeing the drawing. Gosh, this is such an awkward position to draw because it's so far away from me. And I don't like drawing sideways like this because I get things uneven. I look forward to making a new studio space when my wife and I finally move, because one of the things that I really want to change is that I want my desk to almost always be at an angle, slanted like 30 to 40 degrees when I'm painting or drawing, because that just makes it so much easier to reach every part of the drawing. It also helps with posture. When you draw flat, it's so bad for your back. And this desk does lean up, but it's so much of a hassle to move it up and down, and then also there's no space for me to have my keyboard or mouse, so I have to like remove that stuff. And yeah, it's just so much a pain. And I want to have a desk that I can have leaned up like that for me to work, and then also a section of the desk that's just normally flat so that I can use my keyboard and mouse without having to like figure out unique ways of doing it. I have these drawers over here that sometimes I'll pull the drawer halfway out, lay a book there, and then I can put my mouse on it. And yeah, it's just, oh gosh, it's just a pain. Because I use my computer a lot when I'm working, whether it's to listen to music or watch something / just listen to, or to use Photoshop for my reference photo. And so I'm doing that. I'm using my mouse and keyboard constantly in the midst of working, and it just makes it impossible when my desk is tilted up. And I so much prefer not working on a flat surface for the reasons that I just explained. But I just don't have the space to have like a second desk situation, which I would love. I can't wait for that. Because I'll probably hire somebody to build a custom desk for me. I don't know where I'll find such a person, but I'll make my wife find them. And then I'll design. I should actually start that now. I should design my dream studio. Because pretty much no matter where we move, that's what I'm going to start building. The other thing is like constantly having to set things up and tear things down. That's the other thing that just drives me so crazy. I wish I could just have my my streaming stuff and video recording stuff just set up and not have to like set it up and tear it down every single day. It's just so annoying. I mean, it doesn't even take me a long time to do it, to set things up. It's just that I have to do it constantly. Like when I finish live streaming, I have to like move my TV monitor and move my cameras, move my microphone, move my lights, and then go fetch my keyboard and mouse. And it's not a lot of, it's not like a big task in any way. It's just a lot of little annoying ones that you constantly have to do. And so I really cannot wait to have a dedicated studio space. I feel like I've worked hard enough to deserve a dedicated studio space. So hopefully one day I will get there. Oh, hey there, Mara. It's been a while since I saw ya. Good to see ya. Yes, Myra, I get a lot of that near the end of Inktober. Missing the daily Inktober live streams. Yeah. We all miss them. Yeah, even myself, I really, really enjoy the time together during Inktober. But at the same time, I do enjoy, the time after where I can, kind of focus on other projects and not have to worry about a daily stream. Because streaming daily, even though what I'm doing is not technically difficult as far as like skill wise, like, doing chibis or whatever is especially easy now that I've done so many of them. But it does, doing it daily does take a toll on me. It's tough. Because for the entire month of October, my whole life revolves around my daily streams. I schedule my life around my streaming, not the other way around. And then doing the Patreon streams as well. I mean, yeah. I've only missed one Tuesday for the Patreon streams, and that was because I wasn't sure if I was going to do another Pastel project this month, but I ended up doing it, and it's like the hardest Pastel project that I've done to date, which is a portrait. So yeah, only 1 week where instead of 9 live streams, I had 8. So yesterday we over on Patreon we worked on another colored pencil landscape, and I have to say I am really, really enjoying using Pastel Mat. Colored pencils on Pastel Mat is very, very similar to colored pencils on sandpaper, and it's just a great a great experience. And so I've been enjoying that project a lot. I'm just gonna put a few of these lines in here because I'm gonna have to ink it anyway, so there's no need to do it completely. Just have a few lines in there for scale. Don't think you can have enough art space. Oh my gosh, yeah, that is so true. The more I think about it, like I've looked at several flats with some potential as far as like, you know, oh, we could maybe move and live here. And even when there is a full room that I could dedicate, I'm like, oh man, is that enough room? Because one of the things that, like, I love the size of the room that I'm in right now. It's like 3.5, maybe 4 meters wide by like 5-ish, maybe 5.5 meters long. So there's decent amount of space in here. If, you know, all the other stuff wasn't in here, it would be pretty much the perfect room. I would probably have my desk set up more in the center there, and then have plenty of space for lights and for my cameras, because that's one of the things that I really like, is to have multiple cameras, so that you know, if the one angle's not working all that well, I can just switch to another camera and it would look better. And then have like at least 2 cameras overhead. So I'd have like this main camera here, and then I have one like over my left shoulder pointing somewhat at an angle down, so that, you know, I can just switch between the angles for, I don't know, just to make it look more professional. Yeah, it would be a really good sized room if there was nothing else in here. I don't think I can convince my wife to move our bed to the kitchen. We'll have a table that transforms into a bed. I think maybe we could work with that, and then I'll just have this whole space to myself. Oh, thank you, Myra. I do appreciate that. Oh, okay, Diane. Yeah, you have a good night. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with us. Alrighty, I gotta try to lean over all of this. I don't want to put my head in the camera. I don't even know where to start. I'll just start with the mouth, I guess. That's the other thing with the camera placement that I have to deal with. You know, if your desk is flat, you're much more likely to have your head all up in the cameras and stuff, because you have to lean over your artwork. So it's not only worse for your back, but it's also worse trying to keep your head out of the front of the camera. But one of the tricks, Chrissy, I know you struggle sometimes with your head being in front of your camera. But what I've noticed is if I push my camera back, like if I push my camera back that way away from me, and then instead of trying to get it to point like straight down onto the artwork, instead I just let it point slightly at an angle, You do, you don't really notice it in the video when it's pointed at, just a slight angle, but it does help keep your head from being in front of your camera. So, Chrissy, you might want to, you may consider doing that, because that's what I do most of the time. I push my camera back a little bit farther. Helps keep my head from being in front of the camera when I record. Every once in a while I still lean forward that much, but for the most part, that's not the case. Yeah, I really like this camera here that I use for my live streams now. It records pretty good quality. You have a manual setting, so you can adjust the aperture and the ISO, and you have that manual control that lets you get a much better video recording. And then also has dual memory cards, and you can tether it to your computer so that you don't even have to use a memory card. I don't do that, but I don't even have to use 2 memory cards for a few hours of recording. But I'm even looking at the idea of upgrading this camera. But this is a rather expensive camera, so I'll probably stick with this camera for a great deal of time. But I would love a second one. I forget what is this one called? It's I can't remember the name of it. I can't believe it's not on it. What is the name of this camera? The AX11, yeah, the Canon AX11, that's what it is. And it's really good. It's a really good camera. It has good options for audio too. If I wanted to use it for like a primary recording camera, I could get a good audio setup and record the audio on it as well. I don't use it for audio though. I still prefer my Canon 70D DSLR camera because I can change the lenses. That's the one thing that I wish I could do with my overhead camera, is change the lenses so that I could have a faster lens. That means a wider aperture, by the way. Fast lenses mean wider aperture. Wider aperture gives you that really nice shallow depth of field that just makes your videos look much more professional when you record like yourself talking to the camera. If you can get the background out of focus, it just looks more professional. I've been thinking about upgrading my DSLR camera for quite some time. That's probably what I'll do. Probably the camera I'll upgrade before buying a second one of these AX11s. That's much further in the future though. I don't think I can justify the expense just yet. Not after the year I've had. Not this year anyway. Have to ask, what's with the Chibi craze? They're so cute and stuff, but what or who started this? So chibis just come from Japanese manga, and I've always been aware of them because when I got into art, it was because of Japanese manga. Like, and I say that a little loosely because really I've always been drawing ever since I was like 5 or 6 years old. But when I came across Japanese manga is when I really started putting in like a lot of time and effort into developing the skill of being an artist. And so I've always been aware of chibis for that reason, and I've always drawn them. And they're chibis exist in manga and stuff because they're caricatures of a character, and you can do things, you can express like extreme emotions or reactions with a chibi a little bit more in a comic, in a comic style way, in like a manga way. And so if you're not familiar with anime or manga, let's say you just have the normal looking characters, and something happens that makes them like really scared or really happy or something like that, and the artist, in order to make that emotion just seem way over the top, that character will be represented as a chibi, and that chibi will be expressing that emotion in a very extreme, exaggerated way. So you're taking something that is already rather exaggerated, manga, and then you're chibiizing it so that you can express it to like an even higher level of extreme. And that's usually the way chibis have always been used in manga and anime. You have really extreme emotions in that kind of art, and chibis have just always been a part of it to express some of those extreme events. And yeah, chibis are super cute. So that's just one other thing about them, and it's just something I've always drawn. I've always liked to represent people as chibis. American art has the caricatures, and most of the time when you talk about caricatures or a caricature artist, everybody has an idea like exactly what those caricatures look like. You have the big heads, teeny tiny little bodies. They're basically the American version of chibis, and you see street artists doing them. In fact, you even see it here in Poland. People set up and drawing the caricatures, because anytime my wife and I go to Krakow, there's always somebody like sitting out there with like a little billboard thingy, like a little triangle stand, doing caricatures, and they have that style. They usually use like a Sharpie marker or something like that. Every time you go to a county fair or an amusement park, you always see an artist there doing caricatures. And chibis are the Japanese version of that. Well, not really, but they're mine. Like, I use chibis to do my caricatures. Alright, I'm going to do the finished inking here on Noelani. Fill in her eyes and do the bold outline. And that will be it for today. But good conversation. Yeah, today was a fun stream. And I gotta be honest, I was not in the greatest mood when I woke up this morning. I really was not, for no clear reason. But gosh, I just felt like I was in such a bad mood before the live stream. And so thank you everyone for brightening my day. My Friday is just starting out, so it didn't start off the best. I was just a little grumpy this morning, and like I said, no reason. But now that I've got to hang out with all of you, lovely people, and chat, I feel so much better. I feel a lot less grumpy, and I'm prepared to enjoy the rest of my Friday. So thank you again for that. I'm gonna go meet up with a friend and play some chess in a few hours. So that should be fun. Do I have a video for tips of recording artwork? Yes, actually I do. I have a video that's called I have two videos. I have live streaming for artists, and I have make better videos. So those two videos you can probably search on my YouTube channel and find them pretty easy. They're rather old videos, but I think all the things that I discuss and talk about in them are still practical and still completely up to date. But the first one, how to make better videos, is focused on like creating time lapses and how I record when I'm not live streaming, how I make my videos when I'm not live streaming. I show you my camera setup, and I show you how to do different shots and make your videos more interesting, kind of B-roll stuff. And then the second one, the live streaming for artists, that one is like my setup on how I live stream, how I have this camera, and my microphone, and how I just kind of have my live streams. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't. Oh, hey there, Jennifer. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the family portrait here. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? My thoughts on pixel art. I'm not real familiar with pixel art. I know what you're talking about, but I don't. I'd have to think about it before I had any thoughts on it. Never really thought about it much. Yes. So anyways, before I go, let me zoom out a little bit for the whole family to be in the picture. Hopefully you can see everybody. You can almost see. Yeah, you can see everybody. That's good enough. So let me just name everyone off so you guys know who everyone is. Although everyone's been fantastic. If I point to somebody, there's always somebody in the chat that knows the person's name. But anyways, let's go ahead. So Lindy, Lily, Anna, Janice, Wendy, Chrissy, me, Nugget, Noodle, Steve, Sergio, Desert Prince, Precious, Mayong, Jennifer, Matthew, Kev, Linda, Donna, Sandri, Stefania, Marcy, Brenda, Joy, Kenny, Barbara, Paulo, Ash, Jessica, Priya, Clover, Shiny, Gabor, Myra, Oksana, Mache, Shell, Mac, Gabriella, Gina, Martha, and last but not least, Noelani. I told you it was going to be hard for me to remember her name because I have a hard time pronouncing it. I had to like pronounce it 3 times in my head before I could say it. I didn't forget it. I just had to like think about how to pronounce it. I don't know why, but it's so hard to pronounce her name. Anyways, I'll do it one more time. I'll try to do it faster. Lindy, Lily, Anna, Janice, Wendy, Chrissy, me, Nugget, Noodle, Steve, Sergio, Desert Prince, Precious, Mayang, Jennifer, Matthew, Kev, Linda, Donna, Sandri, Stefania, Marcy, Brenda, Joy, Kenny, Barbara, Paulo, Ash, Jessica, Priya, Clover, Shiny, Garboard, Myra, Oksana, Mache, Shell. Gosh, I always want to say Jess. It's Shell. Mac, Gabriella, Gina, Martha, Noelani. There we go. I think that was actually slower than the first time, but at least I got Noelani's name pretty quick. Anyways, that is going to be it for today, everyone. Quick reminder, I just want to say again, if you happen to miss it, the Unmask family hoodies are available. I have the link for that in the description if you want to buy one. I already have mine coming, so hopefully it comes before Inktober is over so that I can wear it at least on the last day. But yeah, be sure to pick up yours, and yeah, that's going to be it. Enjoy the rest of your Friday or Saturday, depending on what time of the day it is for you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Peace.